Okay, friends, we're going to go over a few things on the Subaru engines. As a matter of fact, this is actually rings true for a lot of engines these days. Toyota's real good about it too, but you see it in the Subarus a lot. These 2.5s are garbage. Garbage. I'm confident I have a fix for the situation. This particular Subaru guy put together, I think he's got a bent valve, or don't look like it has a burnt valve, but something's definitely going on. And I'm going to have to plastic gauge the rod bearings and take a look at those, but I think they're going to be okay. But the problem is with the Subarus is they burn oil. Toyotas burn oil. Okay, almost all of your new cars actually burn oil. Now I'm gonna show you part of the problem. Now we'll cover, just focus on the Subarus. Just think boxer engine in your head. Okay, Subaru 2.5, not the older ones. The older 2.2s were great, but these are garbage. And I want to show you this. Okay, so these are your rings, compression rings 1 and 2. These are chrome moly. I think the guy that had this did some work to it, but I don't know if he did anything to the rings or not. But if you look at that oil ring, let me get it to where you can see it. You see here? So your compression ring 1 and 2 sticking up, but your oil ring is just dead ass stuck in there. It's stuck. And then of course your piston skirt's got wear on it. That's not a big deal. I've got it right here. So new piston ring, coated skirt. It's actually, that's just paint. It's just a painted skirt. It's not really moly coating, so don't get excited about it. It's actually they're dish pistons, as you can see. Now, the oil rings aren't important. What is important is the compression rings. You see these guys, they're all shiny. Yeah, that's this one right here. This is a brand new ring. You hear that? Nice and crisp, nice crisp tone. This is a chrome moly ring. This is steel alloy. It is smooth. I'm rolling my finger across it and it's nice and smooth. It's a rounded edge. A compression ring should have a sharp edge on it. This doesn't really have a sharp edge. Your sharp edges should, when it runs up and down the cylinder wall, it should cut in. Okay, that's kind of a break-in thing when you cut your rings in. And I will tell you, just for future reference, if you rebuild an engine and you want to cut in a set of rings, get a big hill and start at the top of the hill and get going about 60 miles an hour and then leave it in gear and let it roll down all the way down that hill. That should cut your rings in, letting off the gas and just let it run without any gas going to it. And that'll dry that cylinder wall out and these rings should cut in. Now these are chrome moly rings. These pieces of shit won't cut in. Dad was saying the other day that when Grandpa rebuilt this Studebaker truck right here back in the 50s, I guess chrome moly rings are the latest and greatest. He put a set in there, it didn't cut in. Dad came home from school one day, Grandpa was out there dumping Ajax into the carburetor. What are you doing? Well, these rings aren't cutting in, but they're going to cut in now. He put scouring powder down the carburetor, made their way into the cylinder walls, cut the rings in, flushed it all out with diesel fuel, and the truck hasn't burned oil. So, good trick. That's what this piece of shit's going to get if it burns any oil. This is what I've got though. See, it looks a little different. That is an iron ring, cast iron ring. Now, I'm not feeling a sharp edge on it. It's got a moly coating on it. You see that it's just a chrome coating, but that's a cast iron ring. You can hear it. It's not all crisp and brassy and tinny. That ring, and the chrome moly rings, When they get hot, they will lose their tension and they'll just shrink up like that, and you won't get the compression. But the chrome moly rings, you start out with oil loss and blow by. And the worse it gets, the more carbon you get. And then the carbon ends up in your oil rings, and then your oil rings get stuck in there, and then it uses more oil. So we're going to try new pistons, new rings, cast iron. I wish they didn't have that stupid coating on them. I just wish they were a set of cast iron rings. They're Hastings. These are Hastings. These are some of the best rings made. Of course, Grandpa used to say that all of your ring manufacturers, there's only about 3 of them worldwide. So you order a set of rings, and they're all pretty much coming from the same damn place. My other rings are over on the shelf there. Those are a set of racing rings, and they're absolutely 100% cast iron. They'll cut in. I guarantee that. They'll cut. I wish it didn't have that coating on it, but we're going to try it anyway. And if it continues to burn oil, then you'll see me getting some Ajax and shaking up a spray bottle with a bunch of Ajax in it and spraying water and Ajax down into the intake to get that shit to cut in. That's, I think, I'm confident, the only way you're going to get a 2.5 Subaru to not burn oil. I've never had one that didn't use large amounts of oil. The engine I'm putting this together for is going into a car. God, I don't know, 150,000 miles. I didn't do anything but put head gaskets in the engine. And I was burning, I want to say, a quart of oil every 250 miles. That's my oil, and that's being generous. So I love the Subarus. I love the opposing cylinder engines, but these 2.5s, I don't have any love for them at all. But if I can do this, and this is successful, this will be the technique I use on every Subaru 2.5 engine. The rings are $40, and the piston ring set comes with pistons, rings, wrist pins, and retainers. The whole kit is $60 or $70. You will spend you'll spend $200. Just say $200. That's if you got to rebuild the front end, like water pump, idlers, timing belt, and head gaskets. You shouldn't need to put gaskets anywhere else, but you get the whole kit, and then you just throw what you don't use off to the side. I'm glad we're sitting here chatting, because this almost looks like this piston is broken. Do you see that? Look at that. Right there. You see that? Is this fucking piston broken? By God, it is. It sure in the hell is. Well, holy shit. Well, I'm glad I didn't put that thing in. You can see on the inside it's broken. Where's it at? Jesus. I can't get it right. It's there. It's broken on the inside too. What in the hell? Wow, man. Cheap shit. I'll be damned. Well, we won't be putting this one in the car. Good God. Well, I guess that means I'm going to be ordering another set of pistons. Maybe I can just order one. Maybe I need to check all of these. Maybe you can check them with me. Jesus, man. What kind of bullshit is that? Holy shit. I'm damn glad I didn't put that fucking thing in there. That is just broken bigger than shit. What the flip? All right, I'm going to check the other two. I might just order one piston. And I hope it's got to be the same piston because these pistons are weighted. You don't want to throw your engine out of balance. That'd be no good. I mean, I don't know that it's going to hurt just to slap a generic piston in there. I'm not going to use one of these pieces of shit because the skirts are completely wore out. What the fuck, man? Golly. Well, these look okay. I just can't believe that bullshit. What in heaven's name? Well, anyway, that's the story on the Subaru shit. There's a couple tools I made to get down into the rod bearings, into the journals, to take them off. They're not easy. But, you know, it's always a good idea to plastic gauge your rod journals, as I've said before. But I'll let you know how this turns out. Wish me luck, because I'm going to need it after this fucking shit.